guys, we're back. We're back to the interesting thing that happened in Perfect Acres Inc. Y'all ready for this story? Yeah, we hiding in plain sight today. We gonna throw Oreo back there because he got to hide too, but not under here with me because he kind of stinky. Need a bath. Period. And let's get going. We chapter 4, covers of the night. Perfecta hesitated, held back by the ear-shattering noises of Mr. Snoot's crashing around her. But when she saw that she was being left behind, she raced through the door. Poems, 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 she shouted over her shoulder, stumbling after Puck. She hardly caught up with him as he flew around the corner to the side of the house where the cobblestone chimney climbed up the wall. Leaning the ladder against the chimney, Puck pushed up the topmost gold rung. Then he pushed up the second one, and the one after that. Like a telescope unfolding, the ladder grew taller. Of course it did, because y'all just doing impossible stuff. And taller until at last it scratched up over the roof of the old house and then up the top of the chimney and up until the topmost gold rung seemed actually to be touching the starry sky. Girl, you think I would have got on that damn ladder with no support? No, ma'am. No ham, no turkey. This sounds like a Willy Wonka plot. Remember how he was like, don't go over there? And then people was blowing up and turning blue and all that old foolishness. Perfecta knew, of course, it couldn't possibly be doing that. There were airplanes and helicopters and hot air balloons and rockets that went up to the sky. But she had never heard of a ladder that did. Come along, Puck called out. I would have been at the bottom of that ladder, like I'm gonna hold this ladder for you while you up there, because I'm not getting up there. Because if it fall, where the hell do you fall to? Puck called out as he started to climb the ladder. Perfecta put one hesitant foot on the first rung. Where are we going? Already at the seventh rung, Puck paused and looked back at her. To get the covers naturally. Covers? On the rooftop? Girl, anything's possible. I mean, these people had a damn horse and carriage, ma'am. Anything's possible here. And this man then took a ladder and made it go all the way to the sky. Just go with it, ma'am. At this point, just go with it. Bring a towel. Don't panic. Covers? On a rooftop? Perfecta had heard Uncle Mike's warning about the importance of the covers. Yet the only ones she knew about were stored in a linen closet or made up in a bed, not sitting on top of a roof. But Puck was not waiting around for more questions and was already climbing again. Perfecta had no intention of standing alone on the foot or at the foot of the ladder and listening to the frightful sounds of Mr. Snoot. Poems, poems, she repeated out loud for extra protection, and then scrambled after Puck. In moments, they had left behind them the towering slated roofs. Soon, even the smoke drifting lazily from the chimneys had thinned and vanished. Whiffs of soft night clouds began to brush past their faces. So there really was such a thing as a ladder that went to the sky. Perfecta should have guessed that if there was such a sensible thing, Puck and Uncle Mai would know about it. Think of the lovely midsummer fire blazing in the fireplace, the musical carpet, and Uncle Mai believing it was perfectly correct to go calling in pajamas if they kept you warm enough and cool enough. Girl, go to Walmart and you'll see it all over the place. It's people in their pajamas all over there. They went on climbing. As the house fell behind, Mr. Snoot noises grew fainter and fainter and finally stopped altogether. Did he get a CPAP? Everything now was still and silent. Suddenly, Puck said, Purr, what was that you were saying? It sounds like poems. Does it mean something? Yes, stammered Perfecta. She felt embarrassed that Puck had heard her. Then stop saying it. Well, what? He asked. It means, it means poo on old Mr. Snoot. Poo on old Mr. Snoot? Puck repeated. I guess you don't like him very much. It's more that he doesn't like me, Perfecta said. I think he hates me. Oh, said Puck, and simply continued climbing. How is it that you know, Mr. Snip? Perfecta blurted. Puck's feet, just above her head, hesitated and stopped. He looked down at her over his shoulder. Whatever expression might have been in his eyes was hidden in shadows. He stood there silent for a long time. That Perfecta felt her arms tingle with goosebumps. Girl, that's called. He building up anticipation. She wished she had never asked the question. But when Puck finally did reply, it was in the most ordinary, everyday voice. Okay, y'all out there in Scott. Mm-hmm. Are y'all ready to hear an example of answering the question, but not really answering the question? Because Puck about to give it to you, honey. Okay. Puck gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. Puck gonna give it to you, but not give it to you. Puck is a politician, period. Okay? Come on, answer this question without answering it. It's what my Uncle Mike said before, Per. We only know him after a fashion. Like, what the hell does that mean? Scott, if I said, no, okay, let's change that. Scott, if you said, oh, how do you know that person? And I said, after a fashion, what does that mean? Y'all put it in the comment section. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. Right. Mm-hmm. It's a little wild. Yeah, you answering without answering. Then he looked back up into the sky and continued his rapid climb up on the ladder. Ma'am, you ain't gonna get the answer. That's what that means. Once again, the subject had ended. Yes, ma'am. Up and up the silver ladder they climbed until at last Puck reached the last gold rung, the one touching the deep night blue sky. Far off to one side hung the moon, round and pale silver as a summer melon, while all around them stars twinkled like fireflies. I miss fireflies. Hashtag stop spraying pesticides and stuff so we could get our fireflies back. I love seeing them in July. Well, here goes, Puck said, lifting a hand over his head. He scratched out his forefinger and his middle finger, then snapped them together like a pair of scissors. He snipped, snipped, snipped through the sky, cutting a square the shape of a large scarf. With the last snip, the piece of sky began to drift downward. Grabbing it quickly as it started floating away, Puck thrusted it down into Perfecta's hand. This is yours. Better put it in your pocket right away, he said. A piece of the sky was as soft and silky as anything Perfecta had ever felt in her life. Girl, we up there cutting out space. Sky, have you ever cut out space? Y'all, have y'all ever cut out space? No, not really. Okay, well, this is what happens when you do it. Some bits of stars were caught in it, and she felt them prickle her hand like 4th of July sparklers as she stuffed the sky into her pajamas pocket. What are these, Puck? Perfecta asked, watching him snip the second piece of sky and jam it into his own pocket. Is this all you got to do? You just got to do this, and then you get a piece of sky? Because, baby, I want a piece of sky, too. There are covers, Puck replied matter-of-factly. And now that we have them, we can start down. We still have a lot to do. Girl, like calling CPS and telling them that your Uncle Ma deserted you and abandoned you, okay? Or going and finding your Uncle Ma. Because where the hell your uncle then went? This wasn't a very satisfactory explanation, nor was Perfecta ready to end this enchanting trip to the sky and return to Earth. But she could see Puck's feet shifting impatiently over her head, so with a sigh, she started to climb down. Everything was quiet when they started back to the house. Deadly quiet. Was Mr. Snoot lurking around somewhere nearby? Perfecta shivered as she jumped off the last gold rung and waited for Puck to jump down beside her. Come on, hurry, he said, and flew off towards the front porch again. Perfecta raced after him, but by the time she skidded around the bend of the house, Puck had vanished. Girl, he deserted you. Just like his Uncle Mai.
Mm.
Like uncle, like nephew. Period.
I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they desert and they abandoning people.
It's terrible.
She tore up the steps two at a time and ran into the house, slamming the door shut behind her. Puck, she called. No one answered. Except for the fire crackling in the fireplace, no sound came from any part of the house. Perfecta tiptoed into the living room, half expecting the two rocking chairs to be sailing briskly back and forth, or the carpet to be playing a tune. But the rocking chairs were motionless, and the carpet was silent. She crept down the hall. Puck, where are you? Puck! She was beginning to feel truly scared and sounded it. Ma'am, you live right across the street. Go home and go to bed. If the man left you, ma'am, it's time to go home and go to bed.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, the whole damn family gone and you just up in there like, where did they go? Go home and go wash the back of your eyelids, ma'am. Go to bed. All of a sudden, something whooshing down the stairway banister and landed with a solid kaboom at her feet. That something was Puck, clutching his piece of sky in one hand. I thought you were right behind me, Purr. I was until you disappeared. How can I follow something that wasn't even there? Perfecta said indignantly. I was there. I was just trying on my covers to see if it worked. Puck shook out the piece of sky, and several bits of stars flew out and danced about on the floor until he scooped them back up and shoved them back into the sky. I don't know what you're talking about, said Perfecta stiffly. You were not there and was trying on the cover. And what's trying on the covers mean? Puck hunched his shoulders and looked remorseful. Great whiskers. I'm truly sorry, Purr. I suppose I thought you could guess. Anyway, what the covers are covers of the night. You've heard of them, haven't you? Sky, have you ever heard of covers of the night? Have y'all heard of covers of the night?
I mean, I've heard of like doing something in the cover of night.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what he's talking about.
Let's see what Puck got. You know he known for not answering questions and abandoning people, so let's see what he got. Perfecta thought it over. Aren't they what people are always doing things under and then never get found out? Well, almost never. Have you ever? What'd you say?
She's talking about like her parents did, and then she showed up.
Period. Yes. Yes, that's exactly how she came. And then they told her, girl, you ain't supposed to be here because Mr. Snoop didn't authorize us to have children. They did that in the cover of the night while Mr. Snoop was over there snoring and needing a CPAP. Have you ever stopped to think why? Puck asked. Is it because doing things under the cover of the night makes them invisible? Exactly. Puck swung his piece of sky around his shoulder. Both he and the sky promptly vanished. Why don't you try yours on, Purr? Perfecta carefully pulled out the soft, filmy piece of sky from her pajamas pocket and drew it around herself. When she looked down, all she could see was the oak floor instead of red and white striped pajamas legs and a pair of red fuzzy slippers. Lord Jesus, she done disappeared.
Wow.
Like Uncle Mai.
Huh.
And the money from my bank account after I go shopping, period. Oh, Lord. Okay, we're going to end it right there, y'all.
All right.
Okay, guys out there, what did you guys learn from that half a chapter? Because it's a long chapter. What did you guys learn? Put it in the comment section. Scott, what did you learn?
I learned what after a fashion means.
What does it mean?
After a fashion is an idiom meaning to do something in an approximate, mediocre, or barely adequate way, doing it but not well. It implies limited skill or unsatisfactory results, often translated as somehow, in a way, or to some extent.
So they dragged the hell out of Mr. Snoot. They said he mediocre, he basic.
I guess so.
Period. Okay, Mr. Snoot is basic. Okay, period. And that's coming from the mouth of babes, because Puck a child. So, children don't lie like that. Okay, well, hey, period. Okay, that's what you learned.
That's what I learned.
Okay. I don't really think I learned anything from that chapter.
Well, you probably got to get through the whole chapter to really say you learned something.
Well, no, usually I learn something from everything, but I don't think I learned anything from that. So, I don't think I learned. This is the first time I'm stumped. I don't really have anything. I learned that Uncle Ma ain't worth a damn. I learned that because he didn't abandon them children. Period. That's what I learned.
There you go.
Puck's Uncle Ma ain't worth nothing, honey. We need to know him after a fashion. He mediocre. Period. Okay, guys. Well, with that, we're going to end this part of the book. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow. We got that Sunday Fun Day school, so come dressed up in your Sunday's best. And of course, we're gonna finish the chapter of this because they didn't got invisible, child. So with that, but today we're gonna, end this. We're gonna wrap this one up, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. So guys, of course, as always, we love having you here, and of course, we always hope that you enjoyed your time with us. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check out some other lives, some shorts, some other videos. And with that, we're gonna bid you guys adieu. So from wherever we are, even if you know us after a fashion or before a fashion or whatever a fashion, to wherever you guys are, peace, love, and happiness. We'll see you